Continuing to move through Origins, the blue player calculated up his points with his new culture. Figures he's well in the lead and took a fecundity decrease. I forgot to roll for chaos though. Was there a chance? No. He didn't get it, but there wasn't a chance either. I don't know why I rolled. But then he did a population action to put himself over near the Bering Strait. He wants to get a shot at that energy. The one thing he's missing to get into the Golden Age so that he can fall into the Dark Age. And if nothing changes, win the game. Green then played grabbing an Elder, thinking they'll draw for cards, but they want to have some ability to bid. And then they slipped into a Dark Age and lost one of their counters. They kind of want to develop this tin, which is why they were going for a card. I'm not going to allow them to cheat and take this one again. Black then drew a card, and they got one they like. Spoked Wheel. This gives them a minus on animal husbandry, which could give them an extra metallurgy, and it could give them an additional Elder. Put this somewhere. Too much table space taken up. They don't want to play that right away though. So they get a roll for chaos, which they do not make or do not lose, and they can do population actions. For population action, I kind of want to get over to Cav Animals because I'm going to go for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll move them there. 5. Sorry. I'll move them there. Actually, yeah. I don't want to put more people on the board, though. That's one of the problems. Acculturation, I can't do. There are no other real options that I have, so I'll hold off and move on. I don't know what red did. I guess they may have taken a card. Yeah, damned if I know what they did. But they positioned themselves in their population phase to go for the tin. White, who cannot slip into a Dark Age, everyone else is having trouble with them. White's got this problem of too good an administrative ability, even though they're slaves. Went and drew a card. They got a boat card, which they could play, because they have level 1. It bonused both them and blue. They could not get the Elder, however, because they don't have any metropolises. Their limit to Elders is the number of metropolises plus 1. Well, they don't have any. They're not allowed any, basically. On to the next turn. Actually, I missed White's population phase. They grew another person, spread out some more. They're down here because they can use the boat. They came from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also slipped down here. Just continually spreading out. This doesn't make sense to me. I don't think they should be allowed to move as slaves, but who knows. Blue took another fecundity decrease and then played the card they had in hand, which allowed them to cultivate some plants. They got a lucky roll of 6, which means their and White's footprint has just gone up. And that means they can now use this to start looking for biofuel. They lost after upping and downing the Elder they had, which was a red one. And now they have a stability roll, which they don't have to make because they're in good shape. And then they get a population expansion. And where they want to go is they want to go towards a fuel location. What kind of fuel location? Well, if I can get through here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get close to this one. And hopefully that's enough for them. Now we go to green. Well, I don't know if that helps. It doesn't. Shit. I'm trying to figure out a way to get what he needs. He may not do that. So green did a plant cultivation as well, using the same card, and they ended up getting the banana and the sugar cane, but they got it on a 1, the low protein fruit. That doesn't help their footprint one bit, and now they're in this kind of annoying position where they don't really have many things they can do. They can do a population action, there's no question. So let's start with that. 1, 2, 3. I'll kill off a red piece. That's 1. They have 3 total. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to try to go for the rice and millet. They're trying to get that same advantage with footprint that blue and white now have. Only black and green are stuck behind. Now, as a little catch-all to that, red had an eye, so they can steal a green piece, and green can use their last population action to do a Sabine raid and grab the top card of the red pile. That's going to give them a little advantage. Fighting is kind of cool in this, in that it helps you to conceivably grab some cards that you wouldn't otherwise get. Speeds up your progress that way, which is, I think, very cool. Alright, on to black. Black has had a cool turn too. They grabbed a card for a fecundity decrease over here. Then they played this, which gave them an elder. They had room for 1 more. They did a animal taming at -3 because of the zebra and the -1 here. Now that cost them their elder in terms of expenditure, but they got that, so they got a level of metalworking off of it. They don't get the additional footprint, they already had that. Now they roll for chaos, and they managed to survive that, so now they can do their expansion. They can certainly expand at least 1 piece without increasing their risk. Red took a fecundity decrease card off white, and they're holding this card. They don't want to play it yet. They got this as a bonus on their attack. They want to wait until they get a chance of the 10 so that they can maybe raise their metalworking. They're not too keen on metalworking, but it's one of the few things that can get them towards maybe, they need the energy more. I mean, they need to roll a 5 or a 6 on the table, going probably for biofuel because oil is too hard to get. So I don't know what their chances are here. Maybe they can do a revolution and switch cards because their card sucks. No, they all need 2 energy, right? Yeah, their card's actually very good for moving forward. Oh well. White, however, is going to take the chance to pick this card up because they want to play it. The Barbarian Raid, they want to end their enslavement at this point. First thing they do is take a fecundity decrease, and then they're going to play Barbarian Raids against blue, which means blue has to give up a public card or lose an elder of their choice. They don't want to give up a public card, so they'll lose an elder over to black. But I believe this also ends their enslavement situation. Putting all the enslaved units into siege against metropolises. So that makes it sound like white shouldn't have been allowed to move the way they have been. Oh well, white's free. I've obviously misplayed slavery again. I don't think enslaved units are allowed to move. I think that's the key. That's not clear, though. A slave society may not do domestication, revolution, trade, naturalist, urbanization, or Sabine raid. They are allowed to do, according to this, migration and population expansion. Although under population expansion, it says no slave. The slave player may never move his units after placement. That may mean that you can't do those actions. In which case, oh well, I screwed things up. I'm certainly going to play it that way from now on, but no big loss when thought that actions meant what actions mean. Okay, so that played this off. His other card allows him to go for an animal. And is there an advantage to doing so? Well, there's certainly the population advantage. I think I'm going to. I wish, yeah, I have a minus up here. I can go for Camelops. That sounds cool. So I'm going to play for them as well. And I'm at -2 on the die roll for Aminals. Oh, and that tires out my dude. I got a 3, which means it's too ferocious. Now, normally there would be an extinction if less than 5 players are playing. I'm going to do that anyway. I like the extinction idea. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some little marker. And I know this is probably horrible and everything, but I don't like all those big animals alive in North America. So killing some off makes me happier somehow. Don't ask. All right. Now, he still can't do that. So he's going to try to grow into a position where maybe... Oh, the Barbarian Raid card went away. That's taken out of the game. Where maybe he can, if that metal card comes up, be able to do metal. So I'll do his expansion. He's probably only going to use 1 piece. He may do a Sabine raid or something. I'm not sure. I'll try to figure that out. Ah, damn. Didn't notice. You can unflip public cards using the Elder Reset. Well, that's something that's definitely going to start happening. Blue could really use acculturation right now, and they've got the cards to do it. People can really use avoiding chaos. So many little levers to play with. Alright, I'm going to load this one up and start on another turn.